Welcome back to the Katrina Johnson Show. So happy to have you here. This is 2025. It is the start of the new year, right? And I'm excited about this new year. I don't know about you. Got lots of plans and projects to um, execute. And that brings me to my word for the year, which is execute. I don't make New Year's resolutions per se because I have goals that I'm trying to reach, throughout the years. Some goals I don't complete at the end of a particular year, and it just goes on to the next year. So I don't do the vision board every year either because I have a vision board, and until everything on that vision board, and actually it's not even a vision board anymore. I put all of my vision pages in a binder. So I've got a vision binder. And so with that, until I complete and manifest all of those things, I don't create a new vision board or vision binder. I don't do that. So I have a word for the year though, and my word is execute. And that is just something that dropped in my spirit. And every day I keep that in my mind. When I feel like not doing anything, I have to remind myself this is the year to execute. What is your word for the year? Do you have one? Drop a note in my I guess show notes, or just drop me a message, send me an email, and let me know what your word for the year or your New Year's resolutions are for 2025, and I will believe and be in agreement with you, and even help you to stay self-accountable. Um, Speaking of self accountability, I think that is something that is so important when you are trying to accomplish things and you're trying to execute. I know for me, when I am being made accountable, and don't get me wrong, I am self accountable when it comes to a lot of things. But when it comes to projects and getting things done, I find that when I have a self or when I have an accountability partner, that just seems to propel me to really get the job done because it's not only showing up for myself, right? But it's also showing up for that other person that's checking in on me. And it just gives me more of a motivation and inspiration to get the job done. Because who wants to look in the eye of their in the eyes of their accountability partner and say, "Oh no, I didn't do that," right? So it's a good thing to be self accountable, number one, but to also have someone that can help you to stay accountable, right? So like I said, I think that's going to work for me. I've got a few things going on and a few people that are helping me to be accountable in certain areas. And I believe that this is going to be a good year for that. Now, wherever you are living, I'm just kind of flipping the subject right now, but no matter where you are in the world, I'm sure you heard about the fires in California, which happened at the first of the year. What a way to start the year. That's really unfortunate, right? Um, it really hit home for me because the cities that were affected, at least a couple of cities that were affected by it, primarily Altadena, is my stumping grounds. I grew up in Pasadena. I lived in both Pasadena and Altadena at some point in time in my life. Now, right now, I don't live in the area. I'm still in the greater Los Angeles area, but I'm in a different county. That really did hurt me. It really brought tears to my eyes because I know so many people, family members, associates that got impacted by those fires. And I just have a word for anyone, whether you're in the Pacific Palisades area, Altadena, Pasadena, be encouraged. That's my word for you, is to be encouraged that though you lost a lot, I'm sure, the memories from the houses that burned down, you can always make new memories. Material things can be replaced. It is heart wrenching though, and I just say stay encouraged. Just be thankful and grateful that you're alive and that life has still been granted to you. And with that, everything else can be rebuilt, everything else can be started over again. And that may not be an easy thing for some. And I know some people, at least in the Altadena area, that have lived in their property for years. However, everything that happens, we have to look at it in a really broad sense. We have to look at the fact that, like I said before, we're alive, right? And our life was spared. We have to look at it like, well, this could just be a new chapter. Like, what good can you find out of the situation, which is very difficult to do. I'm not being insensitive. I hope I'm not coming across as being insensitive, but always try to find the good in everything. It may mean if you're rebuilding, maybe you're going to finally have the house of your dreams. It could mean a lot of things to a lot of people, different things to different people. But I just am speaking on the fact that I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to know that the pain, the hurt, the sorrows, they're all temporary. This too shall pass. There are brighter days ahead. You probably can't see it now, but there are brighter days ahead. And if you just think about throughout your life, if you lived on this earth long enough, there have been things that you've had to endure, situations, problems, challenges. And because you got through those, you'll get through these. So that's my word to anyone that was affected by those fires. I had to speak on it because it really did hit home to me. And so just be encouraged. And just moving along in this podcast episode, which is not very long. Again, it's the start of the new year. And I just encourage you to also find whatever it is that you are passionate about this year, any projects, any New Year resolutions. If you got that word like I got for the year, move forward and be intentional about what you want to do. Don't let this be another year where you're setting these goals or these resolutions, and by what March you have forgotten about it. Um, the workout at the gym, the getting more healthy with your diet, the this, the that. We make all of these New Year's resolutions, and I just want to encourage you to think about every day bettering yourself. It doesn't have to be that New Year resolution. It doesn't have to be, every year you're going to do better. Do better every day. That's what this podcast is about, is trying to help you, encouraging you to self-improve daily, to grow daily, to be inspired daily. Don't make it a once a year where you're focusing on it. Make it a daily habit. Make it a habit. And it's a good habit to have when you focus on learning, growing, getting better. And my prayer is to just be the best person or the best human that I can be. If I am the best human that I can be, I'm going to be the best mom, the best sister, the best friend, the best businesswoman. Just to be the best human. And in that, I can't be the best for anybody if I'm not the best for myself. So that is why I'm so big on self improvement, having a growth mindset, and just being inspired and inspiring others. Life is tough. Life is short, and we have to find a reason to live, a reason to keep going, a reason to get up in the morning and go to that job, a reason to do the things that we have to do to take care of our families. We have to find those reasons, and we have to be intentional about them. And we have to know that even though we have our trials, our tribulations, our challenges, they are just short. They are not long. They will pass soon as long as we don't give up. So, with that being said, I wish you a prosperous new year, and that you will be intentional about your next move, about this year and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And as always, stay inspired.